Some guys will book me because they want to feel my legs squeeze around their neck. And some guys will book me because they want to sit on my face and show me that they're stronger than me. And some people will book me because they want a genuine competitive match. And I'm okay with all of those.
A little while ago, I met the Fetish model, Aloralux. I really wanted to chat with her because she has a wrestling kink. Let's have a look.
I've been into kink actively since I was 18, which is when I first joined FetLife. The wrestling's very new. Wrestling for me is something that, I saw on TV as a kid and never really excited me that much as a child. It's only now, over the last couple of years, that I've actually started to get wrestling as someone who does it, not as somebody who watches it. I still like watching wrestling now, and I've watched a lot of it, but it's more about actually doing it.
How did you get into doing it?
Oh God. Through FetLife, I think I remember seeing an event for takedown sessions or lessons, and more of these things started to pop up, and it came a little bit of a trend, and I was, I haven't really given that much thought. I'll talk to some people about it. I met Mitchell, who introduced me to this place, and I was like, what is this? MMA XXX? What is this? Is it like sexy wrestling? He's like, yeah, pretty much sexy wrestling. I was like, sounds exactly what I'm into. Let me find out more. It'll be submission wrestling where they're fighting around on the floor and rolling around and putting each other in holds and locks, and not so much striking and punching. It's not about trying to hurt your opponent. It's about trying to win and submit your opponent. And when you manage to do that in MMA XXX, you get the reward of being able to do whatever you want with your submissive. People like to watch that, so we film it. I'd like to talk a little bit about my connection between wrestling and kink, and what that means to me. Having gotten into wrestling, I've started to realise that there are so many vanilla people out there, or people that we consider vanilla that aren't active in kink, don't know anything about it, that love wrestling. Wrestling's huge. It's huge all over the world. Japan, America, Europe, it's massive. There are so many crossovers from kink into wrestling, and like vice versa. You have the gender fluidity, which is very prominent in kink right now, and people are talking about that a lot. I mean, you look back at wrestling and people are like, yeah, wrestling, man, it's really macho, and then you get other people going, wrestling, it's just two half-naked guys oiled up. Wrestling's quite camp. We've got ridiculous outfits, we've got stupid theme songs, we do, these crazy actions, and it's theatre at the end of the day. And I think there's a lot of that in kink as well. If you go to a kink club or a show, or you watch videos online, a lot of what you're seeing is a performance, and you have to remember that. And just as you have in wrestling DVDs for longer than I've been alive, the whole do not try this at home, I think they should put that on kink porn. I really do. Because the people that are making these kinds of productions are so professional and are so developed in what they do. And then people see a video and they're like, oh yeah, I want to try that too. And no, don't. It's like wrestling. Don't do it. with wrestling and kink as well, there's the whole, the erotic side to it. So the pro wrestling is what we've talked about a lot already, but the main way that I make my money is through sessioning one-on-one, and it's more intimate wrestling. So some guys will book me because they want to feel my legs squeeze around their neck, and some guys will book me because they want to sit on my face and show me that they're stronger than me. And some people will book me because they want a genuine competitive match. And I'm okay with all of those. I don't really have a preference. What I like doing is providing a service that allows somebody's fantasy to come true. I'm a very empathetic person. When I meet somebody, I come alive and I feel their energy and I feel their needs and their desires, and they become my own. And I love that. And then you can do it together and have a really great time.
Because obviously being a pro switch, you sometimes in kind of vulnerable situations, how do you manage that?
You have to be really careful. Do you get clients as well that'll come in and say, yeah, I can do this, I can do these moves and all this stuff, and I wouldn't let a complete stranger pile drive me. It's not going to happen. Not in 100 million years. That is a dangerous move. And unless you know how to do it safely, and you can prove to me that you've got the training to do that, we're not going to do that. So I get these guys that message me that want to do all this fantasy pro wrestling, and I'm like, cool, chill your beans. Why don't you come in and we'll just have a little bit of a grapple, and we'll see how they get on from there. For me, a big part of why I like it is the outfits. So something you might not know about me, my biggest fetish, not kink, my fetish is clothes. When I transform myself through my clothes and what I'm wearing, I become somebody else. And I love that feeling. It's so liberating and freeing, and yeah, wrestling does that for me. The costuming part of it, yeah, I've already got thousands of pounds worth of gear and clothing. I mean, this jacket alone was £700. It's an original Harley Davidson that's been custom made for me. I am the brat out of hell. It's got my bitch Cassidy on there. It's got my hidden pocket for my cowl prod. I love clothes.
Do you enjoy winning, or is it about struggle for you?
That's a really interesting question. I get asked this a lot, actually. For me, it's the experience. It's not about winning. It's not about losing. The character that I've created for exploring my pro wrestling dreams is a heel. So they're not really supposed to win. They do win sometimes because that's how you get hated and booed, and it's just like, yeah, boo! I don't care. You people mean nothing to me. I've seen what you cheer for, and being that bad guy. And I do like that. So I don't mind losing. I don't mind winning. If it's an actual competitive wrestling match, I'm going to try and win, because that's what I do. But if I lose, I'm not going to throw my toys out the pram and go off crying. I'll come back and I'll try harder next time and I'll win next time, That's how I do it. It's not about winning or losing. And as soon as you get one bout room, somebody's tapped out, you get back up on your feet and you're like, right, let's go another round, you're ready for it. And you get good days and bad days, so you can't really count your losses, so to say, in wrestling. For me, it's those moments between the moves that really matter. So it's once you've got somebody in that headlock, it's like, yeah, that looks really good. But it's just like, yeah, what do you think of that? Yeah, and it's exciting. So it's that bit that I like the most. But you got to learn the technical stuff first, otherwise you can't do that fun bit.
How long did it take you to become confident in doing that? Because you kind of went into that full force just now. How long did that take?
This is part of my nature. I had a lot of issues when I was a kid with self-esteem, and I think a lot of people go through that growing up when you're a teenager. I was the shy girl, I never really had many friends. I didn't have a good upbringing. It was quite difficult at times. I come from a big family. I'm one of 9. I'm a middle child, so obviously get no attention. So there's always been that part of me that's like, pay attention to me, pay attention to me. I met somebody maybe about 5 years ago now that introduced me to a side of myself I wasn't aware of. My self-esteem became a non-issue, and I was just able to be myself around whoever I'm with, whether that's people I know, people I trust, or complete strangers. I can be confident, I can trust in who I am as a person and speak up when I don't agree with things or when I need to say something. I don't know how that happened. It just, something clicked in my head, and now I don't get embarrassed, I don't feel shame, it's weird. When it comes to actually performing and being out there, be it as part of a show, be it on a film set when I'm acting, be it in a sex club when I'm playing, it doesn't matter. I can just be me. And I love that.
Thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you, Christian, for having me.
I hope you found that interesting. Check out the negotiation video where we discussed what was going to happen in the B-roll scenes and how we approached that situation. You have a very strong pun game going on.
Oh, I love wordplay. That'll be my background in advertising, so I've got a degree in copywriting, but I love words. Yeah. I'm glad you appreciate it.